What was the next movie?
Is it Gunpowder Milkshake?
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
Because I need to hear Phenom. Phenom really let me down this week. I was very disappointed.
Yes, Gunpowder Milkshake, I guess, is next on our topic list. Anyone who hasn't seen this is going to be a very, very, very spoiler heavy review and critique of the movie Gunpowder Milkshake, which is on Netflix right now. So let me see. Can I find a synopsis of Gunpowder Milkshake? That way I don't be trying to fuck shit up with my own interpretations. Be like, yeah, so it's this chick, right? And she doing this chick, right? Let's see. All right, the film stars Karen Gilliam. For most people, you'll know her as Nebula or Ruby Roundhouse, as a young assassin who must team up with her mother, Lena Headley, what's her name, Cersei from Game of Thrones, and her former sidekicks in order to save an 8 3/4-year-old girl.
They put that in.
That's pretty much it though.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's it. It's a very simple movie. Yeah. Very simple concept.
Yeah, it's like Karen Gilliam. Yeah, Karen Gilliam. Her mother abandoned her when she was like, her mother was a hit woman who got into some trouble and had to abandon her when she was 15 years old. And after her mother left, she ended up getting into the life being a well-known hit woman working for the same firm that her mother worked for. And she was supposed to carry out a retrieval mission. I believe she's supposed to retrieve some cash that was stolen from her company. And she found out that the person who stole the cash was supposed to hand it over for his daughter's life. And so she decided she would step in and try to save the daughter. Some shit happens. Money gets lost. The firm's like, oh, that's how you want to roll? All right, your ass is dead. And they basically snitch on her. They basically snitch on her to the leader of a gang. To the leader of a gang in which she had just murdered a whole bunch of his people, including his only son.
Yo, I think what's the woman that plays Cersei? What's her name?
Lena Headey.
She should play every evil villain that's a woman. She's perfect. Her accent, her movement, I love her so much. I know she wasn't a villain in this movie, but
she could play a strong female lead. She did so.
Yeah, she doesn't have to be a bad.
You don't remember her in 300? That's a Zack Snyder film.
I know. Yeah. That's what I loved her in 300 also. But I think she's such a strong actor. Like she's a very her stage presence is very strong. I think that she could any female villain. Go ahead and give her a shot because she is amazing.
It's the jawline. That's what you're looking like. Yeah, she has a very strong like jawline, like it's very like kind of like chiseled. It's a very unique, like strong presence.
She's a handsome
kinda.
Man, I know exactly what it was. It's because in 300 she just went ahead and took one for the team, and old boy was just like, "You will not enjoy this. I'm not your king." And you just looked at her like, "Hey, that was a down ass bitch, and she got her revenge." She's like, "It don't get no better than that."
Yeah, I mean, every role she picks good roles. I'll tell you that. But this movie was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was for what it was. It was what it was.
You know? It was what it was. That's my thing. It was what it was.
It wasn't trying to fool you. It wasn't trying to hide some mysterious thing. It was what it was.
Yeah, it was like. So me and Sirius have been shitting on IGN lately because IGN has been very, very off with some of their reviews in our opinion. And so they gave this a 5 out of 10. And like after I watched the movie, I was just like, I can kind of see probably why. Like this movie was okay. It was middle of the road to me. It like, you know how Kevin Samuel says, "Don't rate yourself a 7." It's like,
rate yourself and you can't say 7.
Yeah, if I can't use 7, and I'm giving this, I would give this a 6 out of 10, going off of IGN's reviews. It wasn't bad, but it just
had no depth to it.
It didn't captivate me enough. I didn't really care.
I didn't watch in one sitting. I know that.
Yeah, I would probably have. I didn't watch it in one sitting, and I wasn't that distracted the first time when I stopped. I just kind of stopped and
I did the exact same thing.
Yeah, I just kind of stopped because I wanted to, and then just went to go do something else. I think I ended up watching like YouTube for like 3 straight hours afterwards. So it's not like I had something pertinent to do and I just stopped watching the movie. I just didn't care at some point.
I did the exact same thing. I watched it on the plane. I got off the plane. It was a plane ride was only an hour. I got off the plane. I didn't watch it till like a couple hours ago. Let me finish this movie before we start the review tonight.
Well, I had to watch it in multiple settings too, but that was because like I was going to one place to the next. Like if I could have just sat and watched it, I would have. I mean, yeah. Well, okay. Mostly in part because I'm like, we're going to review this, so like I need to get this. I need to watch this movie.
Get away. Take the review part out of it.
If I was, I like the movie. Now, if we can't say 7, which I would say 7, but if we can't say 7, then I would go up. I would go up 1 and say 8. No. I like this movie.
It wasn't 8. Man. It wasn't 8.
I couldn't go up.
It was a 6.5. It wasn't 8.
All the women in this movie, and by the way. You've got Karen Gillan, who is like one of my favorites. Angela Bassett, Lena Headey, Carla Gugino.
I can never pronounce her last name.
Michelle Yeoh, Angela Bassett. All of them are fantastic. Yeah. All of them these are like all star women, great ass actresses, and they all played into that's what I'm saying, like the new female hero archetype. It's really transitioning into what I've been talking about for fucking years. They all nailed that shit like perfectly, bro. Like, yeah, you can have the, well, I would actually say they was able to nail the badassery with the emotion part of it. But the stakes wasn't really, like, if we're going from Loki to this, the stakes aren't like universal. They're like, hey, we're just trying to save this little girl's life, or we're trying to save Karen Gillan's life, or whatever. So like the stakes are a lot lower because they're literally like, hey, look, if we kill her, we'll leave everybody else alone. Like that's all they were saying through the whole movie. So it's like, for what it was just an action movie, female-based cast. The bad guy was more so just like a guy on the phone. Like he didn't really do anything. Paul Giamatti was in here. He was great as like Paul Giamatti, even when he phones in his shit, it's still good. That's how good of actor.
Bad guy's voice was definitely a good pick. I liked
his voice was weird, bro. Like I was watching it and my brother walks by and he's like, hello, Thanos? And I was like, no, but like kinda. Like, what's with this dude's voice? Yeah,
it was definitely a movie you could predict, drugs. It was definitely a movie you could predict.
Yeah, for me, I just, and how much I wanted to like this movie because I'm the one who showed you guys the trailer. Yeah. So you know that I had high hopes for this movie. There was just no emotional connection for me. Like Karen Gillan, it was just something about the way she was acting. Like I understand she's a hit woman, but she just tried to act. In trying to act emotionless, she just seemed more like, she didn't seem more like this person who just was like empathetic, like who had like no empathy. She just seemed like somebody who was just trying to like do her best badass impersonation. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Oh, he sent you jerks. Oh, you guys are going to get your ass kicked. I was like,
maybe
I didn't like it. It didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like anything. Like I didn't feel like I should want her to win. I just felt like, okay, she's going to win. Okay.
Like John Wick, you even his character is about him, a dog, but his character arc, you feel it building. You're like, okay. All right, we getting the reason why he's a badass, whatever. Like, you didn't really feel that. They jumped into it for you. And it's like, okay, you're not giving me a warm up. All right, I'm with you so far, but it needed a little more.
They kind of gave the same performance.
No, not really.
It didn't feel the same.
You don't feel that. I mean, yeah, all right. So look, John Wick, like they killed his dog, but for the most of the movies, he's very one note. Until it gets to a point where they talk about the reason for the dog, then he shows that. Mind you, because this is Keanu Reeves we're talking about, so you're not going to get a lot of emotes anyway, unless he's playing Ted. But
for me, it was the last scene for me.
It's like she was kind of given that same like one note I'm a hitman type of thing. And even like when the girl came up or when that whole situation popped up, it was just like, shit. Like I did a thing and now this girl's in trouble. Like I gotta do something about it. And then she went and did so. Like it was more. It started off more as an inconvenience than anything. But it was just like I'm a hitman, but like I'm a good person, and I kind of fucked up, and now this girl needs help. So I guess I'll go do this. And then once you got there, it was just like it was cool. Like even the interaction between the little girl and her, it was just like
like I didn't mind the little girl.
All that was cool, but for me, this is the last scene. You know, I'm a Zack Snyder fan. But the slow-mo for the last scene didn't work for me.
Wow. Zack Snyder fucks up slow-mo.
Yeah,
and you watch this movie.
Yeah, some of that slow-mo was unnecessary. I'm sorry. Michelle Yeoh and Angela Bassett running to be backup, and they're just moving real slow with the guns and stuff. I was just like, bro.
That walking in the hallway, walking in the hallway to go join a fight, that was a pretty bad moment to use slow-mo.
It was, and then some of the fights, it's just like, some of the bad guys, it's like they sent the first wave of bad guys in with no guns. You just have brass knuckles or a baseball bat or a tire iron. And like if you hand me this and then I look behind me and I see everyone else behind me with guns, I'm automatically like, oh, so you're just sending me in to die first.
So basically I'm Star Trek in the red. That's what I am.
I'm just here to make them tired, apparently, so you guys can shoot at them. And then
that was pretty convenient.
And then even when they brought the niggas in with the guns, you notice when they split them up, they went back to not having guns again.
Yeah. Like pick a gun off the ground. But the slow-mo last scene, that scene had been better if it had been fast. If they'd actually went through and did
that last scene slow-mo, I love that. I had no problem.
I think
that one shot pan through the diner while everything's happening, I had no problems with that.
The one shot pan had been better if it had been at a regular speed.
And this is where
it would have been like 2 seconds.
But at regular speed, it'll look better because you'll have Angela Bassett slamming the guy's face into it. As you're going, if you're chopping it up like going boom, boom, here's there, and boom, boom, there you go, boom, boom. And as the guy's driving at the door, she pops him.
But that's the point. That's not
last shot. You're good. The last shot.
But that's the point. That's not one shot. If you're talking about breaking it up so you can see different stuff, then you're taking away the whole one shot thing. You have three people on that screen doing 3 different things, killing at least 4 people apiece, all in one shot. If you just go through that bad boy, you're gonna miss most of the shit that's happening.
Now, if you do it right, if you do like a steady cam, if you're just showing everything's going like, how did I describe it? What movie had something like that?
Is it a Zack Snyder movie? I feel like you're about to reference a Zack Snyder.
No, it's not a Zack Snyder movie. But it was a constant flow. It's like, okay, basically like a John Wick, a constant flow of fighting as they're going down.
John Wick doesn't even have slow motion. I think they did that one time in the first movie.
Don't use slow-mo, but a constant fighting going all the way down the line. As she takes out 4, she takes another 4. She takes another 4. And at the very last shot, as he dives out the window, then you shoot in slow-mo. That makes sense.
But even with you saying the very last shot, that takes away from the one shot. That's what I'm saying.
I don't like the one shot.
Oh, well, say that.
That's what I said. I said at the beginning.
You're saying you didn't like the slow-mo and,
I didn't like
how they done, but like
the slow-mo one shot. Sorry.
If you was to break that shit up, that scene would have looked trash. Like it was a diner, so you had the environment in which they sat the camera behind the bar and just panned it all in one shot. So all the action is going this way. So everybody's doing action. You got somebody in the background, somebody in the front, and somebody right where the bar is. Everything's action, action, action. So to make sure that you catch all that action in this one fluid shot, you slow it down. I think that ending was where the slow motion made the most sense.
I think if you'd have turned the camera towards the alleyway of the diner and went down that line, then panned it back out once you jumped out the window, that'd have made more sense to me. That's my opinion. But I didn't like the slow mo at the end. That's just me.
I don't know, man. I can't.
Very cartoonish at the end.
I just find it hard taking it from a person who likes Zack Snyder films, man. It's just really eating me up.
300 was amazing. Return of the other 300 was great. Okay.
I thought he was about to say the Return of 300.
The Return.
I was like, they brought the niggas back from the dead.
You know, the dead movie you just did. What did he do? Was that Dawn of the Dead?
Army of the Dead
was a good movie.
He said Dawn of the Dead.
One of them.
My man took it back all the way to like 2003. But yeah, and also one thing another thing, and I'm normally not like this snobbish of a person, but it was just something about the cinematography and the settings. It didn't look. It looked kind of fake. Like when she arrives at every time someone arrives at the diner, it made me feel like
you're forcing
it made me feel like they were on a movie set. Like it wasn't like, oh, this kind of looks real, or like it looked like a lot of stuff looked like a movie set, and it just didn't have the sequencing and the shooting. It just didn't have that much style, unless fighting was involved. When fighting was involved, they tried to up the style a little. They tried to up the style a little bit, but outside of that, you know, like Paul Giamatti in The Office, that looked like behind him looked fake. You know,
I thought that was just the overall like theme of what they was going for, because I mean I agree with you. From the doctor's office to Paul Giamatti's office to the diner setting, even the library scene, everything looked very exaggerated.
Even the bowling alley.
The bowling alley. Everything looked exaggerated, and I thought that was just like the style that they was.
I feel like I've seen movies, action movies, try to do like the lively cinematography inside of a movie, and it worked. But this, it felt fake.
You know what I thought about? One of y'all said in chat, Spirit.
Yeah,
it reminded me of that. It reminded me of the Spirit. This could be done in black and white, and it gave me the Spirit vibe.
It reminded you of Sin City.
Yeah.
Because Spirit was more of a low budget Sin City though.
Yeah,
like,
it was
like
more,
the cinema, like if you watched, I saw both of those in theaters, and even though the style kind of looks the same, you can see the difference in the money that they put in, and how they shot Sin City, even A Dame to Kill compared to the Spirit.
And this one kind of gave me that Spirit kind of Sin City vibe, where it's like, all right, you know what it is. It is what it is. But we're gonna go a little over the top for you, just a little bit, and then we're not gonna give you, like, if they'd have shot the diner scene, let's say in like a city like New York or LA or downtown, where they're actually interacting with the environment, it'd have gave it more feeling. But when he jumped out the window, you can tell he's jumping out a window onto a set because of the way the whole background looked. Like Sean said, it's like, you know, he
it reminded me of Dick Tracy. That's what it is.
There it is.
That's what it is. It reminded me of Dick Tracy a little.
Perfect.
Bit.
There it is.
Watching some of the scenes.
I can agree with that.
And it's just something about, even though this movie was meant to, you know, not be dark, it's something about that. It still just kind of felt weird to me for the type of movie it was.
Mm-hmm. The lighting was very bright for as dark as they wanted it to be.
Yeah, she's supposed to be all like, she walks, like Karen Gillan walks around all, yeah, well, if you had told me the right information, I wouldn't have done this. You know, she kind of talks like she's trying to be like a dark, tough character a little bit, but then it's like all this brightness around you. Talk a little bit more like Ruby Roundhouse.
No, that wasn't. That's not her character.
It doesn't work, but it doesn't work.
Ruby Roundhouse was just Amy from Doctor Who.
But
that's
it doesn't
not
work
the
with
character.
But the character doesn't work very well with the way they have that set up. Like the way they have everything looking around her visually, that character just doesn't work. Like her just sitting there. It's like, what's your name? Sam, Samantha. Hi, Mom. Like Lena Headey, hi Mom. It's like it's just. They
went. We'll give you a lot of action. We're gonna give you everybody's trying to put a little comic book in all their action movies, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work all the time. It's funny
because when we watched this trailer, they showed the same shit in the trailer, and you all was like, "Nah, man, this looked like this is going to be pretty good."
They didn't show a lot a lot of the dialogue.
They showed the diner.
They showed the fighting scene.
They showed the bowling alley.
They showed inside the diner. They didn't show people walking outside. outside. They showed a close up. They showed a close up of her walking into the library from a certain angle, and then you see stuff at different angles. That's how they do. They show you stuff at different angles, and it's just it gives you an idea. Like, yeah, I know this is probably gonna be lighthearted, but like I said, once you get to it, it's just something feels off. And I love Karen Gilliam. Like, I haven't watched any Doctor Who since she left. I didn't even watch Doctor Who before she got there. But I love her. Well, I love her in Doctor Who. I like her in Guardians of the Galaxy. I like her in Jumanji. I like her in the little well-known TV show that she had on ABC with John Cho called Selfie, where she was just a self-absorbed socialite or a social media influencer who was forced to get a real job. I don't like her in this. Like, I don't like her in this at all.
I mean, I just think, I don't know, the soundtrack didn't bring it in at all. It didn't.
Oh man, the soundtrack was dope. What are you talking about?
They didn't bring it in. They didn't get you. They didn't. I mean, to me, the movie's a 6. And if you're gonna do stars or want to do crowns or whatever,
yeah. If I had to do crowns, I would give it a 2.
Definitely a 2. What are you looking at, Sirius?
I was looking for the soundtrack.
Like, it's like I'll give it props. It's definitely still better than some of the other movies that we've seen recently.
Oh yeah, that's by far.
At least I'm about to say at least it's at least compared to like Chaos Walking or Infinite, at least it's coherent.
Yes,
And I think the fact that it's coherent saves a lot of things. But overall, something felt wrong. Like, even with all these great actresses, I wasn't compelled to want to keep watching this movie. Like, if my wife started to get into it, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, she's asked me questions and I'm able to answer them, but I don't really care. Like, I think
it didn't make me go, oh, I need to, like, what is there a part 2? I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like there's supposed to be a sequel, and I'm like, I don't really care about the sequel. I said the best thing about this movie that made me laugh the most was the fact that Angela Bassett's character was named Anime.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Like, y'all said y'all went for that one. Y'all said bring it back.
It's like Anime whooping ass now.
Yeah, I mean, her name was Aunt May, but they called her Anime. It was funny as shit.
Yeah, that shit right there made me laugh.
Man, but overall, definitely a 2 crown movie. I think it was what it was. It wasn't nothing crazy. It wasn't. It was like, oh, you want someone to watch? All right, we'll hold your attention for 30 minutes and come back. Well, if they split this up into a series, it'd have been better.
It would have been worse if it was a series.
I don't know about that. I just say, like, from Sirius's end, he's just like, yeah, what do you say? He's like, I had expectations, and I think these expectations were met and or exceeded. And from my end, I'm like, I had expectations, and I don't think, and my expectations weren't met.
Mine either.
Like, I went like I could have like I watched Fear Street over again before I watched this.
Well, Fear Street's not a bad watch to watch over it. That wasn't even.
But I'm about to say, but I've already seen Fear Street like 8 times.
So you'll watch a movie 9 times before you watch this again.
I watched Fear Street for a 9th time before I watched this.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. Well, I'm giving it 3 crowns, and once again, Phenom let me down because we were supposed to fucking go to war, son.
I mean, we still got some shit to go to war with.
I think they love me. They never put anyone above me.